What's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin and we are in the Plaid Studios today. We have a service appointment. It's a week before Christmas, so hopefully everything goes well. You might be wondering, why is the Plaid going in for service? Well, it's because this was the post-delivery stuff that needs to get fixed. They kept rescheduling due to part availability, and the other time I had to reschedule myself because the scheduling didn't work out after the reschedule. So we are headed there, but first we're actually gonna go to a charging station because in the past, the many service appointments I've had with the previous Model X, whenever the battery goes low, they don't have a tendency to plug it in. So because it's not in their Tesla policy, Tesla service staff doesn't plug it in. At least I'm guessing it's not in the policy, because it seems like the people at Tesla are just by the book for the most part, and don't use common sense. I'm only guessing because it's happened several times where I would just be peeking in the app and I would be, low on charge, sometimes below 30%, other times it's under 20%. And you would think, oh, on their indicator, the battery level is at yellow, that they would plug in. But no, they will send me a notification saying the car is ready to be picked up and my battery level is pretty low. So I would have to say, like, hey, can you please charge it? Like, can you do me a favor and charge the car before I can pick it up? That way I don't have to worry about looking for a charging station or whatever. I mean, there are plenty of charging stations around, but it's just one of those things where can you just plug it in? Jeez, man. Like, supposedly Tesla is a luxury company, so is my expectation set a bit too high? I've mentioned this in the past before, but I'm mentioning it again, of just experiences with the service center. But yeah, so just set, if you are going to service center, I mean, if it's your first time or if you've had good service experience, I mean, just try not to set your expectations high, because one day they'll just disappoint. But unless they change, I'm not really sure. But we are headed to a charging station. I left the house at 50% state of charge. So we are preconditioning and we're already at 47%. I'm gonna grab some coffee as well while it's charging, and then we're gonna start making our way over there. But as far as what they're going to fix, I don't even remember anymore. It's been over a month since I even talked about it. But I think it's the A pillar, the rear oblique, because it was wrong, and then the glass between the tailgate and the Falcon door. But if you're curious, I did do a video of a post-delivery service call. They actually sent out mobile, which they shouldn't have, but that's what they did. What else was there? I think that's it. Oh, the rear, one of the rear tail lights needs to be replaced, because as they were fixing some things, they used painter's tape or some sort of tape, and it left a burnt residue. I don't know how it burnt, but they couldn't remove it. They couldn't clean it, so they're just gonna replace it. Now, I did notice that the other part of the tail light, some moisture was inside. I didn't put it in the service ticket, but I did take pictures, and I'll probably show it to them. So I don't know if it's something to be concerned about, but there are people reporting of moisture inside the light. So we'll see. I don't think it's exclusive to the Model X, that issue. I think I've seen it or seen reports of it more often on Model 3s. But I'll just have them take a note and let's go. So this is the charging location I usually go to before going to work. I have a routine already. I just go grab some coffee, some light breakfast as it's charging. But one thing I did forget to mention as I was charging, the charging port is unaligned or misaligned. So that's also another thing that they're gonna have to fix. Hopefully there's no rattles that come about once they remove all those panels and things in the trunk area. But yeah, we're gonna get some coffee and probably unplug. I just want it to be around 60 something percent because I don't know how long they're gonna keep the car.
I made my way to the service center. The service rep saw me and was like, "I thought we bought back your X." I said, "You did, and now I'm back because of issues with the new one." I explained to him that this was a post-delivery issues and that they tried to fix it using mobile service, but they just couldn't fix it. That's why I'm here. Surprisingly, they gave me a black Model X Plaid as a loaner, and here's how it went.
All right, so we got a loaner, and I'm surprised, but that's great. Looks like it's a Plaid, Model X Plaid with the yoke steering wheel. I miss the yoke so much. This is gonna make me miss it even more. But it's black exterior paint with white interior, and the white interior is dirty. So I notified the service rep and told him like, hey man, I hope I don't get dinged for just the dirty seats. But so yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's a loaner, they don't keep it clean. But he noticed me recording as he was pulling out, and he's like, hey, did you record me? I'm like, no, you were inside the car, don't worry. He's like, oh, do you do video? And I was like, yeah, I do content on YouTube. All the service that I've had with you guys are, you know, I document it, both good and bad. And he's like, oh. And he was like, well, nothing's perfect. And I'm like, look, man, nothing against you, but I think the issue really is Tesla policy. All you guys are doing is following policy, and I think the policy just needs a huge improvement, So it's not really the staff or the employees. They're just following the rules that needs a lot of work. But yeah, so as I'm driving, I noticed that the steering wheel is peeling. But yeah, this has full self-driving. I think this is hardware 3. I don't know if it's on the holiday update. But we're gonna go and charge because we are at 38%. And my profile is downloaded and connected to this car. I love that capability where I could just jump into any Tesla and it picks up my profile where it knows my seat adjustments, my settings in the car and everything. So, but yeah, we're gonna be driving this. Hopefully they finish by the end of the day, but otherwise I don't really care how long they take because I have a loaner, so they could take time. I don't care. Just fix the issue and fix it right the first time. So we're gonna go supercharge because we have free supercharging. We're gonna go to the 250 kilowatt, and I don't care how much it costs because it's free. All right, so we are here supercharging, and I just wanted to show you the car. So it is a Plaid, but this is that time where they didn't put red calipers on them, but it is a Plaid, and it's black on white interior. And check out just how dirty. I don't you know, some people just treat loaners very bad, but yeah, whoever had this car before just didn't even care about it because the seats are really filthy and dirty, and it smells like sweat just like the previous Model S that I had. It pretty much stinks, and Tesla didn't really clean it up. Curb rash also, but I think this also doesn't have a Plaid badge. Oh yeah, it does. So the Plaid badge is the word Plaid and not the logo. So Yeah, so it has the yoke steering wheel with it peeling already, but I do miss the yoke even more so now that I've been driving it. But we're just gonna charge here. I'm gonna get some coffee again because I don't know how long it's gonna take. What does it say? So it's charging at 210 kilowatt speeds because we're somewhat low. We're at 39% state of charge, now 40. But yeah. And oh, you know what? This thing, the interior is a little different than what we have. I don't think we have this kind of interior on ours. And these also have the ultrasonic sensors on the doors. And what does that mean? Let's see if it does it here. See how much wider that opens? Unlike on the newer Model X, they removed the ultrasonic sensors, so they don't open all the way out. So with ultrasonic sensors, it knows that there's nothing there, and see how wide it opens. Yeah, I kind of missed that. Okay, so let's check out the sticker here. Looks like build date, where is it? 02/22, so February 2022 is the build date for these. But I'm actually somewhat happy because they gave me a plaid for a plaid. Just the condition isn't up to par, but no surprise. But yeah, so we're gonna spend some time in the coffee shop, maybe hang out, and then get going. Okay, so this is the next day, and we are still in the other plaid studios. And what I was saying before was the smell. So the smell, see, even though we own the car, we've owned Teslas, there's some features that it doesn't go in my head. So Abby and I went out last night, and I was like, well, just to forewarn you, the car smells. It's like, well, just turn on the HEPA filter, the biodefense mode. I'm like, whoops. So we turned it on, and it helped tremendously. And actually right now I'm supercharging before going to work. The smell is better. Like I don't notice it as much running the biodefense mode. So I totally forgot about that. Man. So but the other things that I've noticed in this car is the vibration on low speed, just like many Plaid owners have experienced. Also is on this car, around 30 to 35 miles per hour early in the morning. And also when you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left or all the way to the right, the wheels feel like they're slipping, or the tires feel like they slip, which I also experienced on our previous Model X long range. I don't experience it in our current Plaid, but I experience it on here. So I'm not sure if you guys are experiencing that on your Model X, when you turn the wheel all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and like in a parking lot or something, and you're leaving your parking spot, there's like a slight slippage. And I think I mentioned this in the video before, and I also mentioned it to the service technician, and they said that it is normal because the tires are wide, and so they tend to feel like they're slipping. So, but I'm experiencing that on here. Now, the other thing with this car is the Sentry mode USB drive. It actually comes with it. Many of the loaners that I've gotten in the past do not include the Sentry mode USB storage device. So when the last person that returned it, I kind of know who you are. I mean, I don't know who you are, but yeah, they didn't delete it, and so they have all the Sentry mode data on there. They took a trip up north to Oakland, San Francisco, and there's even footage in their garage in sentry mode. So they have a, I think a Model Y also, a white one. So but yeah, so when you have these loaners, like just clean up behind yourself. I mean, I think the smell isn't really the sweat, but I think it's like the wet leather. They may have gone up north to go somewhere where there was snow. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of, because the smell was similar to the Model S loaner I got that was in bad condition as well. So if you haven't checked out that video, go check it out. But the smell is fairly similar. So it could be because of the wet seats or something. But yeah, yeah. If you're gonna, man, I don't know. Just people just don't take care of loaners because it ain't their car, or they even their own car, they don't take care of it either. I don't know, but I tend to take care of things even if they don't belong to me, as if they do belong to me. It's just that's just how I am, and unfortunately, not everyone will be like that. And I think the thing that bothers me the most is they are also Tesla owners, just like myself. But I I just have to realize that not everyone is the same. So, but yeah, so uh, I don't know when the car is gonna be ready. I do miss it. I mean, as far as loaners are concerned, I mean, it is convenient, but you know, I miss our own car. So hopefully we get it today. Also, the FSD, I've played with it. It seems worse. I think this is hardware 3, and it seems worse. I had it enabled in a parking lot trying to get out, and don't do that, or at least be more ready in a parking lot, because it couldn't determine the lines at that particular parking lot, and there was people walking around, and it swerved like into a parking spot thinking that it can go out that way, and it just gave up and it just disabled. So just be ready at all times with FSD, especially in parking lots, because parking lots are not really, not really any traffic rules that it could follow, so to speak. So but yeah, so I will keep giving you some play-by-play on my experiences with this loaner, as well as updates on our Model X Plaid. All right, so we got a notification earlier that the car is ready to be picked up. I took a peek at the invoice. We're going to be going over that once I pick up the car. It is already dark, so I'm hoping that whatever issues are resolved and there are no issues, or no I guess pending issues. So but we're gonna do an inspection probably tomorrow, because it's dark already. But yeah, so hopefully everything will be good when we get there. I mean, I could do everything through the app, but I believe they are still open, so I'm gonna see if there's a service advisor available, and maybe just chat with them, and maybe go over the invoice. But otherwise, the next part of this video, we're gonna be going over the invoice. Oh, and the other thing too is they actually plugged in the car and started charging it. It had 53% state of charge when I was notified. I took a peek, and they were charging it at a it's like a level 2 charger, but they were charging it at like 6 kilowatt rate, so it's half the speed of my charger at home, but at least they are charging it. So I'm not sure if they have watched my previous videos of me mentioning that, or maybe other customers have shared their comments about like, hey, why aren't you guys plugging these in? So hopefully this is a consistent thing that they do to all customers' cars as they are waiting to be picked up. Okay, we are back in the Plaid Studios, our Plaid Studios, not the loaner, and man, it's a difference in smell. But I also found a friend of mine, Michelle, aka Plaidly. Her Plaid is here also, her Model X Plaid. You may have seen her in other videos from the Riverside Toy Drive. So her car is here also getting a seat replacement or something. I was gonna wait for her, but they are still far away, so I'm gonna start heading home because I still got to do some more stuff. Okay, so just stay tuned on the next part, and we're gonna go over the invoice, and hopefully everything is what they're supposed to be. Fingers crossed. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the invoice, and the first concern is regarding the A pillar, both left side and right side, or driver side and passenger side. But basically what they did is they removed and replaced, and I'm gonna show you the part number that they used. But what I've noticed is in the driver side, it still looks like as it did before. Now on the passenger side, it looks a lot better. I'm not gonna sweat it too much because it doesn't really affect the car, how the car is being driven or anything. It's just more of like, well, it's an imperfection. Now the next one is the glass roof between the Falcon doors and trunk glass. It's a little popped up in the driver's side, and I didn't notice until I took another look, but this is actually one piece that runs across from the left to the right side. And what they did was they just replaced the whole entire thing. So that's good, and it looks a lot nicer now, as it should have been in the first place. The next one is the Tesla piece on the back. This is the second time they're correcting it. The first time was through mobile service. They brought the wrong part, plus it was scratched. So now they've installed the correct one for the correct year, and it looks good. So the next one is the charging port misalignment. They didn't replace anything. It looks like they just made some adjustments, and they opened and closed it, and they say it's within spec. I don't know about you, but my definition of within spec, no, I don't think it is. But I'm not going to bother with it anymore unless it starts to give me issues, but it is what it is. And this last one, I'm just gonna read it because it makes me question something a little bit. So this is the rear tail light, where initially there was like adhesive residue that could not be removed while they were repairing when mobile service came out to replace the Tesla uh, rear sign or whatever. But it left a residue that could not be removed, so they're just going to replace it. And also, there was moisture buildup inside as well. But address customer concern, rear, right hand, and left hand fog slash reverse lamps not working on arrival. Not working on arrival? Okay. Remove liftgate applique, surrounding trim, and remove right hand and left hand fog reverse lights. Lights not plugged in. So you mean to tell me these lights were malfunctioning already and I didn't know? I don't know. Plugged in left hand side and replaced right hand side lamp with factory replacement. In addition, remove right hand rear taillight assembly and replace with new unit from factory. After installation, latest firmware version downloaded to vehicle and lights tested. Rear light working properly at this time. So the only thing I could think of that may have happened is when we got our Model X PPF, because they did remove the tail lights, but there was no indicator or notification on our computer or screens that say that the lights were not working. So I don't know why they said that it was not plugged in. So I've been driving around without my tail lights working, but I'm pretty sure we inspected all this stuff and the lights were working. I don't know. So it's been a couple weeks and the car is running well. I mean, it looks like everything has been corrected or fixed except for the misalignment with the charging port. Again, I'm just gonna just let it go. And also the A pillar on the driver's side, I'm just gonna let it go because it's not affecting my range. It's not affecting the efficiency of the car. It's not affecting the drivability, not affecting the safety. Yeah, the car at its price is, it's pretty expensive, but you know what?
like that's not why I bought the Tesla, right? One of the biggest reasons why we continue to buy Tesla is not because it's a luxury car, because it's far from it. And so that's why I can just easily ignore these issues. What we bought the car for is, for us, it's more of a convenience to own the car. It saves us money in terms of fueling the car. It's fun to drive. It's safe, and it just fits our lifestyle, or at least we adjusted our lifestyle to fit owning an EV, and to us it's more advantageous to own an EV than a gas car. So that's why, like, things like these little imperfections or defects, as long as it doesn't affect what I've listed earlier, then oh well, whatever. I mean, what am I gonna get? Go back to a gas car, or what am I gonna, go get a Rivian, which is actually not a bad idea, but for the price, I think you're better off staying with a Tesla, in my opinion, because of the ecosystem. But that's really about it. Aside from just being disappointed with the condition of the loaner vehicle, it seems like the service experience is improving, but they have to just take another look at their policies. Like, if a loaner vehicle gets returned, like, what do you guys do? Do you not inspect? Do you not clean it up for the next customer to use it? Have you gotten a loaner in a similar condition as mine? Because I haven't heard of anyone else having these experiences with loaners except me. I don't know if it's just unique to that dealership, but let me know in the comments below if you've had a bad loaner experience. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to share with you with the latest service appointment experience. Hopefully I won't be doing many more of these because the car seems to be working as expected, as intended. If you haven't seen my video on the 2023 holiday update, please go check that out. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.